Hi there, I'm Rod Bergeron, and welcome back to another quick and easy watercolor painting. Today I'm working on a 140-pound piece of Canson watercolor paper, and I'm using a big 3/4 inch brush. And we're going to create something that's a little bit wintry. You can see I put 3 streaks of blue across there, and I'm not going to rinse this out. I'm going to pick up some red, and I'm just going to put a couple of quick streaks of red across there, and that's about it. All right, now on our line right here, we're going to build a tree line across there. We're going to take some blue, not super intense blue, and we're just going to put a couple of spots across here, sort of coming down in this direction of a tree line. And you see how that's already blooming up into that water? That's exactly what we're going for. Now I'm going to take this brush, I'm just going to dip it in and right back out of my water, and I'm going to put a line coming up this hill like this. So you can see how this is fairly intense down here, and it loses its intensity as it comes up. Okay, that's what you're going for. Now take this brush, don't rinse it out. I'm going to pick up some of this Payne's gray that I have here, and I'm just going to touch the bottom of these tree lines, these clumps of trees, I guess I should say, which is a tree line. And I'm going to put a little bit more Payne's gray in there, and maybe a little bit more. Now I'm going to take this brush, I'm not rinsing it out, I'm putting it right onto the Payne's gray. I want to pick it up a little bit more intensely in a couple of spots. And you get to decide how intensely that's going to be. And just like that, I'm not going to do any more to that than that. Look what's happened to our sky across there. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to take this brush, I rinsed it out. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of this red, and I'm just going to drop it into a few places along that hill that we have there. This is my #1 round watercolor brush, and I've sharpened one end of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into that Payne's gray puddle that I have on there, and I'm going to create some trees or some brush or some scrubland, whatever it is that you might think of it. And I'm going to take this brush now, rinse it out really well, and I'm going to pick up some yellow ochre, fairly intense yellow ochre. I'm going to put some yellow ochre in a few places, just a very few places, but very intensely, okay? So in other words, I mean dry brush, almost dry brush onto, right onto the pigment, and then right onto the page. You can see I added a little bit of there. Again, I'm going to take my #1 watercolor brush, and I'm just going to create some scrubby grass coming out of a few places like that. I'm going to rinse this brush off, knock most of the water off of it, and I'm going to pick up some Payne's gray, put a little bit of Payne's gray at the bottom of each of those, maybe even a little bit of Payne's gray into there in a few places. And I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to go back to this, scribe out of those dark areas, just like that. And now we need to pick up our salt. You can use yours right out of a salt shaker. I just happen to have it in this bag. I find it kind of useful. And I'm going to put my salt all across the bottom there. And I'm not going to add any salt up into here, except for I might just put a little bit of salt in a few places in the top of that tree line across there, but that's about it. You can see those grains of salt have already started to do their magic. All right, now we just need to leave this dry and come back and see what happens. Don't use a hair dryer or anything on it, just let it dry naturally, and it'll take quite a while. It'll probably take over an hour for this to dry, but just let it dry 100% naturally. All right, let's go. All right, let's check this out. Look at what the salt has done here for us in there. And look at the salt across here. That's really interesting. The sky, you know, just touching the sky a couple of times with that pink, that red, I should say, to turn it pink. And yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. You can get, you know, more ground, more sky. I kind of like it right there, actually, to tell you the truth. I'd love to know what you think of it. Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see your work too. I'll put my email address on here. If you have something you'd like me to see, please email me a picture. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also love to know where you're from. If you could drop me a comment in the comment section, let me know where you're from. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, if you're currently a subscriber, thank you very much. And if you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching today, and we'll see you again real soon. Actually, I think I kind of like it right there. All right, let me know what you think of it.